Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS review and the final review of the season of the DC Universe HBO Max hit show Doom Patrol Season 2. So, this unfortunately is the last episode of Doom Patrol for Season 2. As I explained in the last video, Doom Patrol was initially set up for 10 episodes. Because of the pandemic, they were unable to finish the 10th episode. So, it leaves this season with a huge cliffhanger at the end that I am 100% sure was not the intention of the people who made Doom Patrol and how they wanted this season to end. So, we're going to give you a quick preview of the last episode and then attempt to give you an overview of season 2 without spoiling anything in the last episode. That is the goal here, not to spoil anything in this last episode, but just to give you key points of this last episode for you to check out. So, this episode is named Wax Patrol, and the description is: before they can save the world from the Candlemaker, the Doom Patrol must first confront their childhood imaginary friends. Jane reflects on the first time that Miranda became primary, and Dorothy must make a fateful choice. So, the episode starts off with Miranda as the primary, and it really sets up like everything that happened when Miranda was the primary at first. It is a kind of a sweet, somber opening to a Doom Patrol episode where it's clearly just Miranda working and just attempting to gain the trust of the other personalities as she is at this point primary. Nothing big happens here. It's all an amazing setup that they have for Miranda and Jane's character throughout this episode, that this is revealed that she is like everything she went through as primary. The next quick scene is about Cliff setting up for Claire's wedding and him being nervous as a dad, attempting to do everything right so he could get to Claire's wedding. Very simple. I'm going to hit these things. I'm going to hit these things really quick because all of these little side stories, but it's only two main stories in this final episode, which have to do with both the Candlemaker and Dorothy and Jane's character. But every other character has a slight side story besides Larry. And the other one is Vic just being sad about everything that happened with Ronnie in the last episode. If you remember the last episode, the way it ended with Ronnie going on the run and beating the heck out of Vic, he's sad about that. Rita is sad because she did not stop Ronnie, even though she was trying to be a superhero. As all this is happening, and as Cliff is about to leave to go to Claire's wedding, one of Dorothy's imaginary friends, the Big Spider, pops up and asks them to help because Armageddon is approaching because everything that's going on with Dorothy. As you can recall at the end of the last episode, when Dorothy became a woman, that's the way I'm going to put it. At that point, you kind of knew something bad was going to happen. And this is what bad comes from it, is that the Candlemaker at this point has now taken over her imagination. And he is causing other people to have nightmares because of Dorothy and her power. So, for the rest of the team, this is the whole goal of this episode, is everything they must fight through as they arrive at the amusement park that carnival that Niles and Dorothy are at, in an attempt to stop the Candlemaker. The funniest thing in this episode, as I said in the description, they all must fight their imaginary friends, because that's how the Candlemaker gets you, is through your imaginary friends. So, I'm not going to tell you any of their imaginary friends. I want you to see it and laugh as much as I did. All I am going to say is that Cliff's imaginary friend is the most outlandish thing Doom Patrol has done in a very since the adult thing that happens to you when you do adult activities episode in season 1. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying, because I am trying to put that as PC as humanly possible. That episode in season 1 and possibly the Sex Patrol episode this season, his imaginary character, his imaginary friend, kind of jumps over all of that. It is utterly ridiculous. But as they are all trying to fight the Candlemaker and their imaginary friend, we still get more stuff from Jane's and Miranda's past of everything that they went through as we see Miranda attempting to make the best life humanly possible as the primary, and everything that goes wrong with it. In turn, everything that happens with Miranda in this episode is kind of why Jane was created. So it's kind of a parallel to show how these personalities are created and what happens. At the same time, without revealing too much, Jane finds out a very shocking secret. As you can recall, she was thrown into the well by Miranda at the end of the last episode. In this episode, she's in that well and makes a big, shocking discovery. Again, I'm not going to tell you what it is because there's something you really, really need to see on your own to understand, like, just how crazy this episode is. But that's the key setup for this episode. Everything is set up around what's going to happen with the Candlemaker and Miranda and Jane coming to fruition about the underground and what the underground represents and who is currently in charge of the underground. So again, two very good parts, but it is clear that these two storylines would have been cleared up with the 10th episode, but it does not take away the point that this is still a really, really good Doom Patrol episode. It encompasses everything from the funny moments that you use in Doom Patrol, from the weird moments you use from Doom Patrol, with the action and everything that encompasses it for Doom Patrol. This is a really good episode. I'm just wishing that we got the last episode, because this episode is clear. This episode, anyone who loves Doom Patrol, this episode is going to want you to want more. And I know it's going to take a year plus for them to actually give us the 10th episode. But once we get that 10th episode, you will understand what I mean. This is an amazing setup. This would, just like currently we have Stargirl, which is going into its second to last episode, and this would have been Doom Patrol second to last episode. This is an amazing setup episode that unfortunately has to serve for the finale for season 2 of Doom Patrol. So, Doom Patrol, episode 9 of season 2, Wax Patrol. Again, unfortunately, the finale episode will drop on HBO Max and the DC Universe app on Thursday. So please check it out, people. Let us know what you think about it. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as we have enjoyed this second season of Doom Patrol. So, this is the part I'm talking about. Quickly, I'm going to try to go through every element that we get from the episode at season 2 from Doom Patrol without any way, shape, form, or fashion spoiling the finale for you all, so you all can go in it fresh faced and not knowing what to expect. So, this episode of Doom Patrol clearly, I think, highlights the family aspects of Doom Patrol. They went out their way just to get you to understand just how important the family element plays in this show. Whether it be Dorothy's introduction, and we find out just how important she is to Niles as his daughter in this season, or whether it be Cliff attempting to repair his relationship with his own daughter and technically repair his relationship with his surrogate father, which is Niles, who saved him, kind of is the reason he's a robot, but also saved him and kind of put him all together and placed all these different people into one place as a family. We get Rita still dealing with all the tragedies that led to her feeling like she's come short in life. So just having to explore the relationships with her mom, at the same time dealing very comically at this season with all the aspects of everything that happened with her in season 1, her attempting to finally control her powers, her believing that she can actually do some good in the world, while the whole time it's all a reflection of her dealing with her mother issues and her attempting to fully understand why her mother did what she did, but still grappling that made her feel less of a person when she found out the truth. Or whether it be Vic, who finally is attempted to find love after his accident. At parts, he still deal with the issues and the ramifications of what he did to his father in season 1, and him now accepting this new weird family into his life, and yet him at the same time feeling that he's missing a key element of what could build a family, which is technically building a family with someone else. And that's what Ronnie represented for him in this season. And then we have Larry, who could have the most tragic setup of this season, with the family aspects of him attempting to get to know his children, finding out one of them passed away, and then finding himself shunned by his other son, and how everything that he did he thought for his country ended up reflecting negatively on his family aspects and how he has to deal with all of that. Again, it's an amazing setup for him as he attempts to build a secondary family. It's a part in this last episode, the last episode of Wax Patrol, I did not mention. It is not a spoiler though, but I can mention it here. It's when Cliff wants to go to his daughter's wedding, and they like, no, we need you to go with us to save Dorothy and do all this other stuff. And Cliff says, I need to be there for my daughter. I need to be there for my family. And Larry turns to him and says, then what the heck? He didn't say heck though. He said, what the heck are we? We're your family too. Again, that's just a microcosm of everything that goes on with Larry in this season about how he deals with his family issues. And lastly, we have Jane. Jane's family issues, unfortunately, are all in her head and her personalities and how it's reflective on everything that she does. This whole time, we see the personalities as, especially in season 1, as just different parts of Jane. But in all honesty, the personalities represent a family within K, and how turmoil you can set that family apart. Some of the things that Jane did in season 1 really set that family apart, and them now needing to build trust back into Jane as the primary, or deciding to move on with another family member to lead them, which is Miranda, just because it seemed like a better fit. That is a perfect family dynamic of you trying to see who's the leader of the family, who's the person that we can go to and depend on the most. That's what those personalities represent within K. So I know, though, again, the whole first season, I treated it especially just like, oh, these are different personalities, but it's the same person. This season did a beautiful job of displaying that while these are all different personalities, these are all technically separate people. And these are all separate people that live in the same place as a family. So, again, to me, that's the biggest key element of Doom Patrol Season 2 is family, and what family means to you and what are you willing to do for family. Clearly, we see Niles and everything he's willing to do for family. He literally gave up his life in the first episode for his family. And throughout the course of the season, it's him trying to do whatever he can to make sure when he's gone, his daughter has a family to depend on. So, well, again, that's me giving you my short take on the entire Doom Patrol Season 2. I can go into more detail at a later time. I probably will go into more detail to give you more thoughts on more characters, but I need you all to see the final episode first, because I don't want to spoil anything, because to me, the final episode, even though it's the setup episode and not actually the final that they prepared to do, it still leaves us with a lot of stuff that I think can explain even more of Season 2. But the key element to me for Season 2 is the family aspect. This is a show about family and what you're willing, again, about family, what you're willing to do for family, and how we treat ourselves as it pertains to the treatment of family. Because that's a key element to me in the Niles character in this season. So, again, check it out. If you haven't seen any of Season 2 of Doom Patrol, please go back from 1 to 8. You got like 3-4 days to check it out. I know I'm recording this on Sunday. The episode comes out Thursday. I, unfortunately, cannot drop this until Thursday, so it's kind of going to sound weird to you when I say that. But just check it out. Check out the entire season. Maybe you wait till the last episode drops and then you want to go back and binge the entire season. This is a very bingeable show. Check it out. Again, let us know what you think about Doom Patrol Season 2. Maybe me and Sam will get together. We'll run through Season 2, run through Season 1, compare the two, just to see like the evolution of this series. Peace, people.